All right, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back, thank you. I've got the second 8 books of this 25 book submission here today. We've already finished going through the first 8, which were all Amazing Spider-Man. Some pretty decent results so far, so if you haven't watched that yet, go back and have a look. The submission profit to date will be on the screen. So what I'm going to do today is continue with the next 8, and I'll do what I always do. I'm going to go through every book. I'll tell you what it cost me. I'll tell you what I did to it if there was anything noteworthy. I will tell you what my grade expectations were, and then we'll do an unveiling and see if CGC agree. So we're going to kick off today with Booster Gold, number 1. This one cost me $32 and came in pretty good condition. It had one noteworthy tick on the front cover and a smaller one near the bottom. I thought it was going to be a 9.6 with a chance of a 9.8. Looked really good, and it does look really good. So CGC expecting 9.6 to 9.8. 9.8 white pages, off to a great start. Continue with some of the great 9.8 results we've had so far. Yeah, so really happy to have that one at 9.8. That's a great book. It looks great too. Very good. Love that. Great result. Let's hope it keeps going. Okay, next up we have Punisher number 1 from the limited series, 1986. This one, paid $41 for this. I thought it looked a bit better. I could see it had a few ticks, and it arrived and it definitely had some moderate ticks to the spine. I cleaned up some tanning, a bit of dust shadow on it, but I couldn't go too far because the inside pages were quite tanned as well. And I didn't want to keep going through the whole book because it had other defects. So yeah, I was expecting, I think, around 9.2, which would at least give me a bit of a profit. So CGC expecting a 9.2 and got a 9.2. And white pages, interestingly enough, I think they look quite tan. So sometimes you wonder about what looks white and off white. But yeah, 9.2 is what I was expecting, and happy to get that. And the ticks are definitely noteworthy there. And the greater notes are spine stress lines to the cover. Okay, moving on to the next Punisher number 1 from 1987, the ongoing series. So this one cost me $21, and similar note, it basically had one tick that was of any note, and there were a couple of small negligible ones which I tried to tidy up and reduce. I thought it turned out really well. I thought it was going to be a 9.8. Yeah, it looks really good, looks great here, nice and sharp. So as soon as you see expecting a 9.8, received a 9.4. That's a bit harsh. Let's have a look. Spine stress lines to the cover. Wow. Okay. Oh, there's the one, and a couple of others might maybe just but to give a 9.4 on those stress lines. Okay, it's interesting. Well, a bit harshly done on that one, I think. Moving on to Smurfs number 1, Newsstand edition from 1982. I love the Smurfs, grew up with the Smurfs. So I saw this one, I was happy to pick it up. Cost me $9, and this is all my costs are including shipping, taxes, so it must come with a few other books. Had a few ticks. I thought most of them were non-color breaking, and there's a newsstand mark going up and down the middle. You can sort of see it along the edge there. I thought hopefully it'd be allowed, but it could go either way. But I thought the ticks would probably limit it to maybe 9.6 with an outside chance of a 9.8. So I see CGC expecting 9.6, hoping for 9.8, and got 9.4 again. So that's lower than expected. Let's have a look at the graders notes. Spine stress lines to the cover. Oof. I think these last 2 books have been harshly done by. I mean, there's a couple of ticks there, but they're always a risk. I think 9.4 for that's a bit harsh. Certainly had some different results with more ticks. Moving on to Spectacular Spider-Man number 9 from 1977. So this is the first appearance of the White Tiger. And let's have a look. Cost me $21. Had a few ticks which I reduced as much as I could. But I thought tidying up the rest of the book, giving it a nice press. The corners were reasonable, but the ticks were going to limit it to around a 9.4 with an outside chance of a 9.6. To send CGC expecting 9.4 to 9.6 and got a 9.4 white pages, so that's all right. I think that's fair. And the greatest notes are spline stress lines to the cover, similar to the Smurfs book. I think this had probably more noteworthy ticks than the Smurfs did. That's all right. Decent outcome for a first appearance book, and that one's already sold. Moving on to Spectacular Spider-Man number 90 in a direct edition. So this one cost me $54. Oof, wow, must have thought it was really good. Had 2 or 3 ticks on the back cover, and the front cover seemed to have a light crease on the bottom left near the spine. Yeah, I can see it, and I'll blow up a picture of it for you. So I thought with that and the ticks, it was going to be limited to a 9.2. And given the last couple of results and how harsh they've been with 9.4s just for a couple of spine ticks, this could come back as a 6. Anyway, sent it CGC expecting a 9.2 and received a 9.6. What's going on? That's a little bit frustrating. It's a much worse book than the last two, and the greater notes are spine stress lines to the cover. Yeah, which, there are a couple of light ones maybe, but yeah, that little line down the bottom I think's the limiting factor. It's cleaned up nicely though. All right, well, moving on to Spectacular Spider-Man number 99. So this one, I love this cover. I love yellow covers and spot. Cost me $17, and it came with one notable tick on the back cover, but I thought otherwise it was great and it should be okay for a 9.8. Gave it a little bit of a clean, tidy up. The corners look sharp. It looks really sharp here. And sent CGC expecting a 9.8 and received a 9.8 with white pages, so that's great. Yeah, good outcome. That is a glorious book. Very nice. Love those yellow covers. And that one's already been sold as well. So moving on to the next one, which is Spectacular Spider-Man 100. So this one cost me $11, much better pricing wise. Came with a large tick on the back, but it was otherwise a nice copy, and it does look nice on the front. Yeah, so sent to CGC expecting around a 9.6 because of the tick, and received a 9.6. So that's okay, and the greatest notes are spine stress lines to the cover. So yeah, looks good. Also looks pretty good, but yeah, 9.6 is a fair grade for that one. So that concludes the second part of the submission for the second 8 books. If you've watched this far, thanks, and I look forward to doing the last 9 books with you on the final part of the submission, and see you then.